What was the highest waste of money that you don't regret? I spent $300 on a mule. An actual living, four-hooved, long-eared mule. We raise cattle, so a protection mule was a good excuse. But, really, I just fell in love with him. He is huge and sassy. He'll steal your hat and run away. He has got a ninja mode where he can sneak up on you, just to breathe down your neck or startle you. He does keep the coyotes away, however. He has proved himself priceless because he eats thistle. When we got the lease on the land for our cattle, the pastures had been neglected and were in bad shape. Thistle is a spiky plant that spreads across the pasture, choking out grasses. Cows won't eat it. It is really hard to get rid of. To our surprise, the mule cleared out nearly all the thistle in a matter of months. He would eat the flowers out of the center. He saved us an enormous amount of money and labor. We were able to avoid using chemical weed killers, which we really didn't want to do. Probably the best investment in our whole cattle raising experience. Edit. Loki says thanks for all the sweet comments and awards. He'll definitely be getting some extra carrots tomorrow. Edit 2. Mule tax. I love this one. Thistle is a real motherfucker. My litter robot. Yes. I spent $600 on a cat shitter, but my house never smells. I don't have to scoop litter, and I only have to empty the drawer once a week. Definitely worth it to me. We just got one this year. I have 4 cats, 1 leg and a bad back, so bending over to scoop is not comfortable. I love that litter box. Yes, this. I love the litter robot and it is worth every penny. 3 cats use it and I change about every 4 or 5 days. What's nice is that the thing sends you a notification when it's getting full, so you don't need to constantly check the thing. For anyone wondering, they are offering $20 off for people who purchases through the referral program. $300 hand-sewn Starfleet jacket. Went to a con with a seamstress and had her inspect the jacket. Her verification that it was quality work was the deciding factor. Spent like 30 minutes on the phone with the bank trying to prove this was me throwing away $300 in one go at a con 3 hours from my address. A quick 7-day trip to Maui in February a couple years ago with one of my teenage daughters, who happened to be free the same week I had off. Work was grinding me down and I needed a break. My wife and the rest of the family couldn't go. They were working or in school. The tickets were expensive, $850 each for bare-bones economy narrow rock-hard seats. It was a 12-hour flight that was packed to the brim. I was getting bedsores by the time we arrived. We rented snorkeling gear and a car and spent every day from dawn to dusk snorkeling, sitting on the beaches and hiking in the mountains. We did the Hana Road, the 7 sacred pools and the Haleakala Volcano National Park at sunset, and took tons of photos. We ate spam musubu for breakfast, poke and summon noodles for lunch and loco moco for supper. Slept like babies with the windows open wide in the cool night breezes. The best way to blow $5,000 ever. So much what I needed at that point in my life. And a trip your daughter will always cherish. Sounds amazing. Removed. Apart protection 4,000. 968 13 Nors ago's your downstairs neighbor's mental health is swiftly deteriorating. The 2.7 reply share report say continue this thread. Nor replies, I spent too much money on a big treadmill for a very small apartment, but I've ran 15-25 on it every week for the past several years and it has been incredibly helpful both physically and mentally. Artwork. Can I always afford it? No, but my walls are full of original 90 local art. They make me happy to look at. I'm sure I made the artist happy too. My husband and I just bought our first piece of art from a local exhibition this weekend. It was completely spur of the moment and very expensive. $800 for a front seat helicopter tour of QA for me and my wife. I did the same, but on the big island. Worth every penny. Opal Nugget Ice maker. Dang thing cost more than my car payment, but man oh man. I love Nugget Ice and I use it the heck out of it every day. I can't believe I'm going to spend fucking $500 on an ice machine because of this post. Spending hundreds of euros on broken musical instruments because they were pretty. I have since bought spare parts and started repairing them. I found my destiny. What do you plan to do with them? Grifterdingo 15 hours ago. Hidges this the bike. Looks great. Finally found the motorcycle I wanted years ago but could not get. It was not running, but after around dumping $3,500 into it and doing a full frame-up restoration and custom job on it. I have the bike I wanted years ago, but better. Yes, I did everything myself. Full paint job, tank frame, fenders, everything. I also did a full engine rebuild, remade the wiring harness. Everything was all done in-house. So I put a touch-over freak into a bike that is only worth about $1,500. I spent $3,000 for my wife to meet the Backstreet Boys and get front row seats. It is the best thing that has ever happened to her, and the smile on her face after the show and look of pure bliss in someone who suffers often from anxiety was worth every cent. I didn't spend quite that much, but I gave my wife a similar experience with 98 last year. Front row seats, meet greet backstage, full VIP access at a club post-show. The look on her face is still really vivid in my mind. Momot everyone's 14 hours ago. Go on. It needs some details about how this works. For 132, reply, share, report, save, continue this thread, more replies. $120 for a towel heater. I will never dry off with a cold towel again. Go on. I need some details about how this works. Lego Death Star, word. I got it when Amazon accidentally listed it for $125 for like 13 minutes one morning at 6 a.m. That and my Harry Potter 6 pieces castle. Those things are so well made, it is incredible. You gotta build one to believe. Which version? Dining at a Michelin starred restaurant in Michelin. We had an 18-course meal with wine pairings for like $400 or so. Edit. For those asking, the restaurant is Joya. It is vegetarian, but it looks like it still exists and isn't much more expensive than when I was there 10 years ago. I used to scoff at spending that sort of money on meals, got convinced to try it one time, and loved it. Now, every couple years we try to find something big like that to do. It really is amazing what top-tier chefs can do to food. We did a takeaway 2-star Michelin dinner for nice since we live in Paris and everything is closed due to COVID. It's been on our bucket list since many of the Michelin restaurants are doing this, and they had a special menu for New Year's and Christmas. It was amazing, close to $300 for both of us, but we had a gift card Christmas bonus, and the food was truly incredible. I've been a fat guy all my life. Like, really fat. Dressing comfortably was always my preference because being stylish just isn't an option at my size. This was always a source of anxiety at any social event that required dressing up. When I realized I had 4 weddings of close friends all coming up within the year, I decided to bite the bullet and get some decent formal clothes. The extra I pay in rent for a water view completely worth it. I got a discount for overlooking a graveyard. Loved it. Board games, they are expensive, but they bring much joy. This is mine too. I absolutely love board games, but it is a rough time to be into the hobby. 3/5 of my normal group has COVID right now, and among the larger circle of friends, 10 of them have it. Digital game night just doesn't scratch the same itch. Obasaurus 14 hours ago, treat yourself for 51 reply, share, report, save, continue this thread, nor replies. Back in 2017, my family went on a road trip to Minnesota to visit my Nana shortly before she passed. During our stay, me and my little sister went to the Mall of America and bought whatever the fuck we wanted. Big ice cream cones, Lego store souvenirs, tickets to the aquarium, fare for every indoor amusement park ride, a doll from the American Girl store, and eating an expensive lunch in the store with your new doll sitting at the table with us. Fuck you, little sis, it is all yours. I dropped over $300 in that one mall trip, but damn, it was one of our best shopping days ever. We still talk about it to this day. Due to poor insulation and distance from the water heater, my shower is never properly warm in winter. I just bought a single endpoint tankless water heater for just my shower. Best $150 I ever spent. Could I really afford it? And did I need it? No. Do I love it? You bet your sweet bippy I do. Didn't know this was a thing. I hate that my shower gets cold after like 5 minutes. Looked a few up, and this seems a bit more complicated, and would probably need a pro to install. I want this. A light. Thanks to you I'm getting one. Take my upvote. Weedwiser 22 12 hours ago. This one makes me especially happy because it sounds like something I would do. Glad you found a healthy way to work through those feels, and even more glad to hear that your mom is cancer-free. Cheers. friend. What should we as a society stop making people feel insecure about? Their jobs. If you fix sewerage pipes, then thanks for your service. Someone must have the balls to do it. And garbage people, never knock the people who take out your trash. They were doing an important service. Thank you. The whole blue-collar and white-collar thing has always pissed me off. Trade schools are awesome, and doing a trade is awesome. Exactly. I worked for Target for 6 years and got plenty of shit about it by friends and even complete strangers. I've had people disagree with stuff I've said on F, then say something like, "What do you know? You work at Target." It's completely dehumanizing. Also, people who do plumbing, other essential trade jobs like that have no shame in their jobs. They also make great money and didn't have to spend $30,000 with interest to a college in order to make that money. Amen. Being wrong. It is okay to be wrong. Just be open to learning, instead of doubling down or getting angry. I was looking for this answer. People would be a lot smarter if we could all just admit when we don't know, or when we have been wrong about something. There is always room to grow, and it's more than okay to change your mind. You are not allowed to apologize for anything on social media ever. It just unleashes the hordes of self-righteous keyboard warriors. The weird. The hard side. That's a sad state, because nobody is learning anything anymore, just doubling down on their stupidity. Excitement. Let people be excited about shit. Let them like things you don't. Let people express powerful positive emotions. And cry, and get deep into how to show anger respectfully. The worst feeling is being super excited about something and then getting put down for it. Makes me want to burst into tears when it happens, and it makes me want to do it when I see it happen to others too. That type of embarrassment is hard to handle and recover from. I feel like it's the same for not having exaggerated emotions. I personally show happy, pissed, middle, upset. Of course I have more emotions than that, but I don't change my whole demeanor. Thanks for the shirt, it's really comfortable, but you don't have to make me feel like shit because I didn't act like I won the lottery. I said thank you. I smiled. I complimented it. I like it. Fuck off, Susan. Oh, yeah. Aging and the unavoidable physical changes that come with it. What Clint Eastwood looks like now will shock you, then show picture of him at 25 and 1 from now. Hope he is 90 years old. I agree wholeheartedly, so long as we were talking about things like wrinkles, thinning hair, sagging whatevers, etc. I'm a 35, and these things are starting to happen on a small level, and I vacillate between being totally cool with it and freaking out and feeling shitty about myself. I hate the fact these normal things everyone experiences make me feel so insecure. But then I reflect on the fact that many of the actors, vocalists, and other performers I admire have barely aged in many, many years. It would be nice to have more of those types of humans embody true graceful aging, rather than fight so hard to preserve the looks of their youth lest they be deemed less valuable due to their wrinkles, etc. It is such a bummer. There are so many examples of male actors aging naturally, with seemingly no negative effects on how desirable or valuable they are perceived to be as a human. I wish we ladyfolk could see the same on the same level. The fact that I feel insulted when my appearance as far as aging is concerned comes up in conversation is a clear sign something is wrong. Yes, my stomach and breasts changed. I gave life to 2 people and then fed them and grew them. Yes, I have smile lines and crow's feet. I laugh and smile all the time. Yes, my teeth are yellow. I drink coffee every day for the energy to keep up with trying to make my and other people's lives better. I'm trying to convince myself that aging is just a sign of a lived life and that I've earned every flaw that I have. I hope other people can look in the mirror and see themselves that way too. Together, let's uptalk each other. Man, life's short and youth is shorter. I don't want to spend my time missing perfect skin and non-gray hair. I want to spend it living. Baldness, it doesn't seem to be as common for it to happen naturally with women, but for men and women, it can be a really sore subject, especially if it starts happening at a fairly early age. You could be in control of every other aspect of your life, but if you start losing hair early, it can take the wind out of your sails. In honor of my deceased grandfather, God only made a few perfect heads. The rest are covered with hair. Edit. Thanks so much, guys. I never imagined my most liked and awarded comment would be about bald heads. My dad was monk status at 23. My grandfather at 19. I started thinning at 30 and have a patch on the back of my head now. It sucks knowing that it is only going to get worse, but I can at least be proud to have beaten genetics and held on this long. And wearing wigs and topis, it feels like you were ridiculed if you were bald, but it is even worse if you were trying to look like you were not bald and you were found out for some reason. I'm a 31-year-old woman, and I've developed a small widow's peak and have a somewhat noticeable back part to my hair. It sucks and I'm super insecure. I'm 19 and already looking like Bruce Willis from Die Hard, probably even worse than that. Thinner at the front. Having acne, it doesn't mean you were dirty or don't wash your face. It's simply a skin condition some people get and some people don't. 35. Have dermatillomania. It's debilitating. Medication helps and I'm really good at hiding it with makeup, but it takes me an hour to go anywhere because I have to cover it. I can't just throw on a hat and run to the grocery. It's a whole thing. And the number of fucking people who tell me just stop eating dairy is unbelievable. Oh, what's that? You have hormones. Oh, what's that? You were stressed out. Oh, what's that? You just naturally fucking produce more sebum and can't do shit about it without spending a ton of money, making any kind of mistake. Social media has created an illusion that everyone has to be perfect. Honestly, we should praise mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you aren't pushing yourself, which is the only real mistake. Your job. Too many people are elitist about someone's occupation and look down on essential workers, or look down on boring jobs. I have a stable, relatively well-paying job as an accountant, and I have had several comments from friends and family making fun of me or making snide comments about how boring my job life is, like I've totally sold out because I'm not a teacher or an artist. I think because it's such a safe career choice, they feel like they were not punching down, but it just makes me feel really lame and embarrassed. Boring jobs pay bills. Being a garbage man is so taboo and shameful. Kearney's the guy whose job is necessary for our entire society to function the way isn't glamorous, but it is incredibly important. Exercising in public. To me, anyone giving it a go, no matter their physical ability, deserves praise. Honestly, from my experience, most gym rats are the most encroaching to heavy people. A few of the guys I used to work out with just be at the gym the same time every morning kinda made it a point to say small comments to this very heavyset guy that worked out at the same time as us in the morning. You got this, brother. Keep up the good work, man. You were looking good, man. This guy's face always lit up, and he always pushed harder when anyone encouraged him. Needing mental health treatment, even if that treatment includes medication. I get so many weird backhanded comments when people find out I take psychiatric medication. I hate that people think of it as the easy way out and view me as giving up or being weak. Mental health is similar to physical health. You can get sick for a little bit, sick for a long time. You have trauma that caused permanent disabilities, have inherited disabilities, and be born with disabilities. Edit. I should say that they can influence each other to a large degree. I'm a cleaner, and this, I've literally had people say to me after I tell them, "So you studying, or what are you looking to do?" That I'd never cleaned toilets, and the worst one was, "So, just haven't found your dream job yet." Like, no, Greg. I'm often have had This is my dream job. I'm on my feet all day, I get to make things perfect, and the satisfaction is incredible for my mental health. I'm able to support myself and my son, and I also get to help the elderly and disabled, who wouldn't want to have that chance on a daily basis. Also, clean your fucking toilet, Greg. It is grotty as hell. I like you. I've got it too. Keeping a career stable is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and I question if it is better for me in the long run. My first question would be, do you like it? My second question would be, are you available next week? I wish I liked cleaning. Absolutely agreed. I worked as a cleaner at a college. It was a great gig, paid well, unionized county job, free education. I was already in school though, at a much better college than the one I was cleaning at, coincidentally enough. Without a doubt one of the best gigs I ever had. But some people were just straight up mean. Looked at you like you were garbage and never going to go anywhere. Some people just say really fucked up things too. Like, really, mental health struggles. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking time to figure out what process works for you, despite why people around you might want to tell you. Had to scroll down a lot to find this, and I wish it was higher up. Mental health, mental illness is a real issue for a lot of people, and society in general has a hard time understanding them and are quick to judge, making the ones who struggle with it feel insecure about asking for help and getting treatment. Shame this stigma still exists in 2021, where you should be success-wise at a certain age. I'm 23, graduated college, but couldn't get a job in my field right after graduating. I am but could it I'm living with my parents to save money on rent and growing my skills that I learned from college while working on myself. I'm severely insecure and realized recently that for the past 10 years, I have been constantly striving for a level of perfection that is absolutely impossible and calling myself a failure for it. I woke up to the realization that I was getting serious anxiety and was limiting everything I did. It's just that I'm not exactly ready for the world of adults. I'm terrified and unsure, and it doesn't help hearing people despair over how they ruined their lives when they aren't that old. The pressure to get somewhere in 2 years demotivates me sometimes. It's something I'm fixing, but I don't like hearing people force time limits on others and reprimand them if they never fulfill it or haven't. I saw a post here about a few days ago asking 25-year-olds how they screwed up in their lives or something along those lines, as if 25 is the deadline for achievements. It's good to have deadlines, but everybody grows at their own pace and has roadblocks in their lives that slow them down. Heck, the human brain apparently doesn't stop developing at 25 and grows even after 60 years old. Some people genuinely do try but get so discouraged that they give up and then get ridiculed for not doing anything. I only learned recently that my 30-year-old cousin just got over a terrible drug addiction that cost his job and almost his livelihood for years. But he got out, finished college, and is a changed man getting better jobs and doing better. There's always time. The whole good job, good relationships, stable income, own house at 25 thing has been prominent in society for such a long time that psychologists have now coined the phrase the quarter-life crisis for those mid-20s adults who have a mental breakdown because they haven't got the job or partner or house they wanted by their mid to late 20s. The way someone laughs. This world is cold and unforgiving. Laughing makes it all a little less heavy. Who gives a fuck what it sounds like? Not being active on social media. Get off my back. Be more active. Tell us everything. I stopped using Facebook in 2010. Best damn decision I've ever made. If anyone is making fun of you for not using social media, laugh right in their stupid face. Every study shows the less time spent on social media, the happier the person. Being short, I'm 5 flat, male, and I swear it is almost like being a different species. Short jokes are open season, and I've almost never seen anyone wince at them, unlike fat or bald jokes. Women can be absolutely brutal. On the other hand, I've been called gay bait before and a hot commodity on the gay market. Too bad my boat don't float that way, lol. Yes, oh my gosh. I've been teased about my height every single day of my life. It is ridiculous. It makes me feel insignificant. It's amazing that it's socially acceptable to make fun of a short male like everyone is in on the joke. Those same people would never make fun of someone to their face who is obese or has a birth defect or acne. But being short is obviously something a person has no control over. 5'3" here. How are y'all? Just get tall, ma. I can't believe I had to scroll this far to see this. From my experience, it is the second most ridiculed attribute people are made feel insecure about, and there is almost nothing you can do about it except getting an expensive surgery that is straight out of horror movie. The only cause of ridicule that is more common is being fat, but that is something you can fix rather simply, though not easily. Liking pretty things. Too many people have this idea that pretty things are childish and you need to be moody and ironically dark. Fool, look at that beautiful flower and stop pretending to be miserable before you actually convince yourself that you are. I nearly lost my mind over some cloud one time, and my friends thought I was crazy. Who thinks clouds are pretty? I do, folks. And I'm going to ogle over them to my heart's delight.
Like and subscribe for more Reddit content. Watch the next video at the top of your screen.